Hi, this is Nelson Ranch, so let's do this. Um, I'm now going to talk about the 3-star characters that are available from this list. So that's going to be Special Week, then Symboli Rudolf, then Taiki Shuttle, then Curren Chan, then Tokai Teio, then Mejiro McQueen, then TM Opera, then Silent Suzuka, the Red Maruzensky, Fuji Kiseki, Mihono Bourbon, Seiun Sky, Biwa Hayahide, Eishin Flash, Agnes Digital, and Oguri Cap at the end. So there you go, all these characters. Hopefully this should be shorter than the 2-star list. No, wait, Ichiran. Here we go. Okay, very first one is Special Week. Where are you? There you are. I could also talk about the other Special Week, the Special Week that you can get from this. I forgot about that. I'll talk about her too while we're at it. So first, the regular Special Week. Shooting Star has been improved so that if in the last leg, if you surpass someone, if you go past someone, you will increase speed immediately. So this will, boost you even if you're in the middle of acceleration, and you're going to get more acceleration. So this skill's been improved a lot. Zenshin Zende, right? All body, all soul is now going to increase the speed tremendously. Yume Kanai Slash. So this is a very powerful skill, and you got to do either win the Japan Cup or win a G1 twice. How can you not win the G1 twice a Special Week? And you have to have intelligence over 800. So this is going to be very easy to do. The problem with Special Week was that she had stamina to 20. These are always hard characters to do. The other skill that she has is Kuishinbo. So if you are a leader, this increases your health, and this is going to evolve to Harapeko Taisho, which increases your health but also increases your speed a little bit. So this is a very, very good skill. And for this, you got to have stamina over 600, and you got to have 3 speed skills. So it should be pretty easy to do this for a Special Week, right? Okay, the 3-star version of Special Week that you can actually get as a bonus from the doing the missions in the game is this version of Special Week, Hinomoto Ichi no Sou Daisho. She has this skill was already pretty good. Actually, she might be actually pretty good because if you can actually trigger a skill to go off, then this is a Nakayama racetrack, and your acceleration should be pretty much done by this point, so you would increase speed tremendously. So this is actually a character that you can use in the current championship meeting if you want. She has a 10% bonus to speed, so that actually is more easy for her. It's easier for her to do. But she has 2 skills. One skill is a long distance skill, Doto no Oyage, which increases your speed and increases your acceleration when you go past someone at the last phase. Now it's going to increase your speed, your acceleration, and also your health. So this is actually pretty good. And again, this is you have to win the Japan Cup and win a long distance race twice, and you gotta have. So you got to do one or the other: win the Japan Cup or win a long distance race twice, or you gotta have a recovery skill, 2 recovery skills. So that's one. And this is the Nippon Ichi no Umamusume. Oh yeah, all right. So that's the reason why people aren't using her, because both of her gold skills are long distance skills. Nippon Ichi no Dokonjo is the way it evolves, and you gotta have speed over 800, and you gotta have fan numbers over 150,000. And what this does is this will happen at the last corner, and your speed is going to increase a lot. So this is going to be actually quite powerful in the future long distance races, especially in the Nakayama racetrack, which is basically the Arima Kinen. Okay, so that was Special Week. Now let's do Symboli Rudolf. Where are you? Here you are. Symboli Rudolf, this skill has been beefed up. Now this is a skill that's going to last for 4 seconds, so this is actually stronger than any corner skill that we have. And you gotta actually have either of these two and either of these two. So either you gotta win the Triple Crown, the Satsukisho, Derby, and the Kikkasho, or you gotta have 3 speed skills. I think this is the easier one to do, because this will count as one of the speed skills. And you gotta have one or the other. You gotta have either stamina 600 and above or intelligence 800 above, and this is also gonna be pretty easy. So this is actually probably gonna be a pretty easy skill to get for Rudolf. And Doksenryoku was the problem for Rudolf, again, because Doksenryoku or Monopolizer was a skill where if you're already out front, it won't proc, so you have to be in the back of the race, back of the last segment of the race for this to proc. And if you're in the back of the last segment of the race, the odds of you winning is much lower. So now this has changed. This has changed to a skill in which you will jump forward. So you'll have an immediate acceleration. And because it's an immediate acceleration, it's going to be effective even in the middle of the acceleration phase. So this is a skill to definitely have if you want to win with Rudolf. And so you have 2 conditions here, one or the other. One is in the 3 events, Itsu ika naru toki mo totsuzen no koi or yugen jiko, Rudolf has to do the heavier option. I don't know what that really means. It probably means, like in these 3 events, there's an option in which you don't use any of your health, and there's an option in which you use like 10 of your health and you get a boost in stats. It probably means you gotta use that bottom one where you, or not bottom one, you gotta use that option where you use 10 of your health and get a boost in stats. Or you gotta have fan numbers over 150,000. I think this is the easy one to do. Just gotta have fan numbers over 150,000. And number 2, you gotta have 2 mid-distance skills. Yeah, alright, this will count as 1, so that's pretty easy. And 3, you gotta have 2 acceleration skills, and that's not hard. 2 acceleration skills is pretty easy to get, so just get 2 acceleration skills. You probably want to use Rudolf as a betweener anyway. So if you're going to use Rudolf as a betweener and you're okay with the Monopolizer to help out your teammates, this is also a reasonable option to maintain. But this is now a very, very good skill. So Rudolf has been buffed. The only problem is, she's got 20% bonus to stamina and 10% to guts, which is, tough. You have to be quite used to the game. Alright, so Curren Chan is next. Curren Chan had 2 debuff skills for the short distance. No, this is for leaders, but 1 debuff skill for short distance, which is pretty much useless, because what's the point of a debuff skill that hits stamina in short distance? Nobody's gonna be hurt by this. So now it's going to be this skill, where if you're towards the front, then you have an increased speed component to the debuff skill. So it's a minor boost. And either you gotta have, charming, or you gotta have fan numbers over 150,000, and you gotta win the G1 3 times. I think this is actually pretty easy to do, but again, why do you need a debuff skill? It's a debuff skill that's actually pretty expensive, because you gotta do 340 points to get a debuff skill that actually is equivalent to 1 white skill. This skill was a debuff skill that narrowed the field of vision for others. Again, not that useful unless you're in the stadium. Now, basically, this skill is not only just going to narrow the skill of the people behind you, you're going to have a slight boost to speed, an immediate boost. So even if it's in the acceleration phase, it's going to be helpful. So this is... It's essentially, if it happens in the acceleration, it's essentially an acceleration skill, and it's, I don't know, you may want it, you may not want it. It all depends on the cost. So you gotta win either the Hakodate Sprint Stakes or have Power 800, so that's the first condition. Condition number 2 is you gotta either win the Keeneland Cup or have 2 leader skill. You gotta have 1 leader skill here, so that's pretty easy. And number 3, you gotta win the Centaur Stakes or have 3 speed skills, and I think 3 speed skills is pretty easy to do. So there you go. Look at Curren is a speed skill, yeah. So that will count as a speed skill. So it should be pretty easy to do. The question is, do you want to do it? But it's cheap. It's only 220 points, so maybe. I don't know. Your mileage will vary. Oh, I forgot to do Taiki Shuttle. So let's do Taiki Shuttle. Taiki Shuttle has got a boost in Maiden no Shihaisha. This skill was improved, so it doesn't get that 5-second, elimination nastiness anymore. And now what it does is it is going to increase speed a lot. So this is actually a much better skill than what anybody can get from the gold skill. For this, you got to have either of these two conditions. You got to win the mile championship twice, or you got to win a G1 race that is a 1600 meter 3 times. So, mile championship and the Yasuda Kinen and the Victoria Mile, for example, right? So you got to win 3 G1s of 1600 meters. And then you have to win. You have to get 2 mile skills. So this is a mile skill. So this is actually going to be pretty easy to get. Frontier Spirit. The other one is Gear Change. So this was an acceleration skill, and you had to be. Well, no, this is actually a speed skill, so it's not acceleration. So this is okay. So you got to be in the front of the race, in the middle, and this, and this is going to increase the speed tremendously. So that's actually okay. This is good. I don't know why it's acceleration. Sorry, my bad. It's a speed skill. So this is good. You got to have power over 800, and you got to have 2 leader skills. So you're probably going to get this. So it's going to be, and this is the other mile skill. So bang. Oh no, this is a leader skill. Sorry, you gotta have 2 leader skills. Is this a mile skill? That's a mile skill. You gotta get 2 leader skills. Okay, this is 1 leader skill. It's a mile skill. It's a mile skill. So you gotta pick up 1 more leader skill. But 2 leader skills shouldn't be too hard to get. You already have 1 leader skill that you can get. So there you go. All right. So special week, Rudolf, Taiki Shuttle, Curren Chan. Teio, the white version of Tokai Teio got a strong boost. So if you are a fan of Tokai Teio, you can now not only use the red Tokai Teio, you can also use the white Tokai Teio. The strong boost is this. This is Lightning Step. Lightning Step is pretty cheap. And it only just basically gives you a lane change ability. Now, not only is it going to give you a lane change ability, it's going to increase your speed and your acceleration. So this is actually a very good skill. If this Teio step happens towards the end of the mid phase, then you get that acceleration going in towards the last leg. And it does happen, not frequently, but it does happen. So, it's good. So you got to have 2 lane change skills. So one is going to be this one. So you got to get 1 more lane change skill. And you need a 3 increased speed skill. This will not count as increased speed skill, but if you ever use Mejiro McQueen, you're going to get 3 increased speed skill. This is the other lane change skill, Gikoha. This is going to improve the Tensai Gikoka, which also increases speed as well. This happens in the first leg of the race. Typically, because there's no conditions to it, and usually it happens in the first leg, and so you actually get a boost in the first leg, so that you will actually start out at the front of the pack of the leaders if you are a white Teio. And if your other 3 skills basically go off, in the middle of the race, and you design her well, then she will be at the very forefront of the leaders, typically. Maybe not always, but typically she will be at the front of the pack of leaders. And because you're at the front of the pack of the leaders, there is actually going to be a good chance that in the mid-distance, like where Lightning Step counts, there's a good chance that you will be within 4 horse lengths away from the very front runner. In which case, the acceleration skill of the SSR Intelligence Oguri Cap skill will kick off, and you'll have a very good advantage in going into the final portion of the race. You'll accelerate with that skill. So Tokai Teio has been improved a lot. And the reason why you want to be towards the front is because this Kyukuk Teio split basically means that if you're 3rd place, then you're gonna go up in speed a lot, right? Basically in the last race, people are going to be, you're trying to close into the people in front, and people behind are closing in on you. So all you have to do is fulfill the condition of being in 3rd place, and then I think, or is it 2nd place? But like either 3rd place or 2nd place. I think it's 3rd place. You're gonna go forward, and so this will actually be a unique skill that will go off fairly often. So The white Tokai Teio is now perfectly usable, and it's got two powerful gold skills. So this is Mejiro McQueen. People liked Mejiro McQueen's unique skill. Now it's going to increase in speed tremendously if you're in a long distance. So if you're in a long distance, this is a character you want to use. You may want to use. So like the Spring Tenno show, for example, is like the perfect opportunity for that. The problem was that Mejiro McQueen, as a historical character, was not a runner. She was a leader. And before, basically, this skill said that you had to be at the front of the race. So you had to be a leader. And people were like, why? Why would you want to use this skill? Now, Mejiro no Kokoro, the evolve skill, basically says you don't have to be in the very front. You don't have to be first place. Now you just have to be somewhere towards the front. So now this skill is usable for a leader, like Mejiro McQueen is. And your speed is going to increase a lot. Not just normally, like 3,500. It's going to be 4,500. So it's going to be like those powerful, unique skills that other characters have. This is a gold skill that's equivalent to a unique skill. And for this, you have to either win the Kikkasho or have fan numbers of over 150,000. That's pretty easy to do. And you got to have 2 long distance skills. This will count as 1 long distance skill, so you'll need to use 1 more long distance skill. Get like a recovery skill and you're fine. Or this skill, so you're fine. Right? 2 long distance skills, bang, that's going to change. This is a recovery skill. This is a recovery skill, that's actually good. And now this is a recovery skill that's going to increase your speed as well. So this is a very good recovery skill. And for this, you either have to eat a lot in the event Reisjo Gurume no Yuwaku, or you gotta have stamina 600. I think you're gonna have stamina 600. And you gotta have 2 leader skills. This is 1 leader skill, so that's pretty easy to have. And you gotta pick 1 more leader skill, like this one. This is a leader skill. So bang, this will be a powerful skill that you can pick up immediately as such. So there you go. Mejiro McQueen, a big boost. Perhaps not as big a boost as Tokai Teio. Tokai Teio started from a really low place, so there you go. Okay, TM Opera also started from a very low place, but she got a boost in the first anniversary, and this actually now is actually quite good. But more importantly, it's this skill here, Speedster. So the problem with Speedster is that it's very, very short. I think it lasts for like 1.2 or 1.8 seconds. It's quite short. But what it typically did do was it allowed you to, go fast either at the last portion of the link. So if you were in the mile, this would be a skill that would lead to an acceleration. That was effectively like an acceleration skill. So it was useful, but she doesn't run the mile, first of all. Right, TM Opera is mile E, so she doesn't run the mile. But in the mid distance and long distance, if it procced at the last corner, it only happened for a short period. Now, under Coding Seikimatsu, it's gonna last 4 seconds. This is a speed 3500 skill that lasts 4 seconds. This is just really, really good, and it's going to happen in the moment when you've already fully accelerated, so you get the full benefit of that in the long distance or in the mid distance. So what are the conditions to make this happen? You gotta either have this event, mirror mirror, and you gotta be narcissistic, or you gotta have fan numbers of over 150,000. I think this is the easy one to do. And you gotta have 2 leader skills, and this is 1 leader skill, so that's actually pretty easy. And Killer Tune is mid distance skill, so this is a leader skill, so you definitely get this skill on your own. Killer Tune is a mid distance skill that increases speed if you're towards the front. So if you're a leader, you want this skill. And this has now evolved to the March of the Opera King. And this is going to be a skill that makes you go very fast. So this is like a unique skill like Rudolf that you can get from a gold. And for this, you got to do 2 things. One is you got to win the G1 races in the mid distance twice, and you got to have 2 mid distance skills. As TM Opera, what you want to do is you want to win the Tenno Show, the Japan Cup, and the Arima Kinen. And if you do that, if you win those 3 races, you get like a big boost of like plus 13. On top of that, if you are doing Team Opero in the Grand Masters and you use what's her name, the red goddess, then you get a boost to that from the red goddess for the Arima Kinen, and then the boost you get from that, and then you get a boost from that from winning the next the scenario race. So if you're doing TM Opera, you want to make sure that you click on that red goddess when you go into this race. This is gonna like boost your stats like crazy high, and so you're gonna get this. You're gonna run 2 G1 races, and you're gonna win 4 G1 races at minimum. You want to win at least 4 G1 races at minimum, mid-distance G1 races, and 2 long-distance G1 races. So I don't see how you cannot get this skill. So yeah, she's gonna be quite powerful. Only problem is that she's also a stamina 20 character. Intelligence 10 is actually okay. Okay, so that's TM Opera, who got a big boost. Silent Suzuka also got a huge boost as well. Silent Suzuka is up here for me. So concentration. This is a skill that you pretty much need if you're a runner. Now, aside from the condition where you're not going to have a late start, your acceleration is going to increase. So what this means is if you are Silent Suzuka, you don't need the gold version of the skill that Mihono Bourbon gives you. You can actually deal with the lower version of it, and you can deal with. So if you have Jigatame, the lower version, and you get the Evolve version, you're fine. You have enough acceleration skills. So you gotta have 2 conditions here, one or the other. You gotta win the Takarazuka Kinen or win a G1 or a G2 as a runner twice. How can you not, Silent Suzuka? And your speed needs to be over 800. So you're probably going to do this condition of winning a G1 race twice as a runner and getting speed over 800. And this is going to evolve into that skill that gives you more acceleration. So for those of you who don't have the Halloween Bourbon skill, you don't need Halloween Bourbon anymore. So if you want to have a Onige runner, Silent Suzuka is actually a good character to go with. And Tobosha has been buffed, where what this means is that in the last corner, if you're at the front, you get this big acceleration boost. You're not going to get an acceleration boost in the current championship meeting because acceleration is pretty much done at that point when you hit the last corner. But this evolve skill will make you go forward. So this is an instant speed increase. So this is actually this may be worth it to have, and it'll definitely be worth it to have in normal runner races where you actually want to go get this skill. So this is going to be a very powerful skill, especially when it fits the bill. So places like Tokyo 2400 or miles, this will be actually quite good. The last dirt mile, for example, the Tobosha skill was actually quite useful. Okay, so you gotta have 2 conditions. So you have to have either, so it's one of the other conditions. You have to have either Onige, so you gotta get the Onige skill somewhere along the line, or you gotta have 4 runner skills. And I think either one or the other is actually pretty easy to get for this, because this is actually 1 runner skill, so you need 3 more runner skills. Concentration is not a runner skill, but this is a runner skill. That's not a runner skill. So you got 2 runner skills. So just get 2 more runner skills, and this would be a runner skill. This would be a very powerful skill to have for Silent Suzuka. Okay, the red Maruzensky, this version here. Koen gear was always useful, especially when it hit, but it's not useful for this championship meeting. For here, gear change has now basically turned into a skill that will increase speed tremendously in the middle of the race, so this is worth it to have. So you gotta win either the Asahi High or have 2 mile skills. I think it's pretty easy to get 2 mile skills because this counts as 1 mile skill. And you gotta have speed 800, so it's pretty easy to get. The other skill is Axel Zenkai, or full acceleration. This will basically be an acceleration skill that will increase your acceleration, increase your acceleration towards the second half of the race. So it's if it's a mile race, the longest mile that we've ever had is a 1600. So any point after the 800 meter mark, this skill can kick in. So if this skill kicks in a little bit later, then it will fall within the point where you need that acceleration, and it will be very, very. It's a gamble skill basically. So it's like Symboli of the curve. Do you feel lucky or not, right? This has now changed so that if you're in the back of the race and if you're at the front, then your speed is going to increase tremendously. So this is actually much better, actually. And all you have to do is win the G1 races 4 times. So in the second half of the race, and if you're at the front, like you are a runner, as Maruzensky, then your speed is going to increase a lot. Now, unfortunately, if this happens during the acceleration phase, it's not going to be effective. So again, do you feel lucky? That's what that skill is. So that's Maruzensky for you. It's a minor boost, but there you go. Fuji Kiseki is the next character. This one here, this version. This skill was totally useless. It was very, very rare for it to happen. Now it's going to happen. So you got to be towards the front, and it should happen more often than before. It was very, very rare in the past. The 2 evolve skill is Entertainer. Race Planner becomes Entertainer, and this will increase your recovery and also increase your speed. So this is a very, very good skill. But the problem is, this is better if you're in mid-distance. Less so for the short. Not useful at all for the short. Usable for the mile, although I don't really see why you want to use a recovery skill for the mile, but there you go. For this, you got to do either of 2 things. You got to either go to the Kikkasho, or you got to have 2 leader skills. I think just getting 2 leader skills is better, and you got to have speed 800. That's pretty easy to do. And Anegohada is a skill for the mile, and when this actually, when you try to surpass someone, your speed increases. This is going to be a new skill, the evolve skill, Kagak Top Star, the Shining Top Star, and basically when you try to go past someone, your speed is going to increase a lot. So this is actually a very good gold skill. You got to win either the mile championship or have 2 mile skills. You got 1 mile skill here, so that's pretty easy. And you have fans numbers of over 150,000. How can you not? So that's pretty easy. Okay, so that was Fuji Kiseki, Mihono Bourbon. The ordinary Mihono Bourbon. This was fixed so that you don't have to be, you don't have Kakari anymore. All you have to do is you have to just get concentration, and this will happen. This skill will kick off. And you have this skill, Sente Hisho, and this is going to increase your acceleration tremendously, clock up. So you'd actually probably don't even need Jigatame anymore. So all you need is clock up and concentration, and you're fine. So you got to do either win the Japan Derby or win G1 twice. I think this is the very easy one to do. And you got to have 2 acceleration skills. So you're going to have 1 acceleration skill here. So you just get 1 more acceleration skill. So if you get Jigatame, it's perfect. Kiri Hirakumono is a recovery skill, and this is also going to increase your speed. So this is actually also very good. Either you have to have this event happen, Oni training, and let her do it, or you gotta have stamina 600. I think everyone's gonna have stamina 600 for a mid distance, and you have to have 3 speed skills, and that's pretty easy to do. So that's Mihono Bourbon, 2 speed skills right here. So and this is a speed skill for her. So yeah, this skill is basically you can do it just with the skills that you have for her. So Bourbon has been improved. Seiun Sky has also been improved. Angling scheming has now changed. This is still a great skill. Dashutsu Jutsu. basically is a skill that was already one of the most powerful skills for a runner. Now it's going to be an even more powerful skill because it's going to last for 4 seconds instead of 3 seconds. For this, you gotta have 3 conditions. One is either have stamina over 600 or intelligence over 100. I think either one of these is pretty easy to do. You gotta have 2 runner skills. This will count as a runner skill, so that's pretty easy. And you gotta have 3 speed skills, and this counts as, well, this won't count as a speed skill. But 3 speed skills. So that's 1 speed skill. This is a long distance skill. No, this is a long distance skill that counts as a speed skill. Although, you know, this is a runner skill. That's an acceleration skill. Well, you got to pick 2 more. Oh, this counts as a speed skill. So, you know, you got to get 1 more speed skill. So this skill was a long distance skill that only happen if you're in the front. And the problem is that, you know, we now have the Oniga, and since Seiun Sky can't do an Oniga, it's pretty much impossible for this skill to happen. Now, you know, again, you have to be at the front of the skill. Considering that there's Oniga all over the place, how effective this skill gonna be, I don't know. So, you know, the Dashujutsu alone, I think, is what makes her powerful. So, you know, it's gonna allow Seiun Sky to keep the lead, you know, hold on to the lead, so that when you enter the final leg, she's gonna accelerate like crazy. That's her unique skill. So, you know, it's gonna be easier to win with Seiun Sky now. So for this, you gotta have 2 skills, 2 conditions. You gotta win either the Kikkasho or win 3 long distance G1s, or you gotta do either, and you gotta do one of the other of these 2. You gotta have 2 long distance skills, one's here, and or you gotta become lazy once you don't want this to happen, so you gotta get 2 long distance skills. So there you go. I think Seiun Sky is going to be quite usable, but we'll see where things go. I don't know how powerful Turbo is, and you know, but now everybody has the ability to do Oniga now with Twin Turbo, and everybody can get Suzuka. It's going to be tough, but you know, she needed that boost. Okay, Biwa Hayahide is a 3-star character that got a major boost. First of all, she got a boost in her unique skill. Now she's like Brian. She's gonna have, you know, a very her speed is gonna increase tremendously if she doesn't get Kakari. And she's got a boost in her gold skills, where this gold skill is gonna be a boost to health tremendously. So she's got, like, you know, the unique skill that Super Creek has, so she's going to be able to run a long distance skill no problem now. For this, you got to win either the Kikkasho or have, you know, intelligence over 100. This is going to be easy. You're going to have intelligence over 100, and you got to have 2 recovery skills. So, you know, this is designed for a long distance skill. This is the long distance cooldown skill. That's always going to be effective, and she's going to recover long distance tremendously. So for long distance, right, she doesn't need much stamina anymore. She could just basically run it with her skills, right? And she doesn't even need a stamina 600. She only needs intelligence. So, you know, Biwa Hayahide is going to be an interesting character. If you boost her guts and just ignore her stamina, just with her recovery skills, she's going to be able to run long distances. So she's going to be a threat in things like the Arimakinen. So now for this Keikaku cooldown evolution skill, you gotta either win the Tennosho Spring, or get first or second place 5 times in G1, G2, or G3, and you gotta have 2 long distance skills. So 1 long distance skill is this, so that's pretty easy, and you gotta get another long distance skill. I don't know what that would be. You don't want this. Well, you may, but you know. So you gotta get 1 more long distance skill. So that's Biwa Hayahide. So Biwa Hayahide has been strengthened. She can now be used as a parent, I think, quite effectively. So Eishin Flash, this skill has been improved, so you can now get a late start. It's not a problem, so you don't need concentration anymore, and as long as you don't get Kakari, you're fine. You know, this skill is the change lane skill. This basically she got the same boost that what's her name? Air Groove did. So, you know, she's going to change lanes easily, and she's going to get a boost in speed. she's going to get an immediate boost in speed. So that's actually quite good. And so the acceleration phase won't matter. So one of the other two will happen. One, you gotta have, you gotta follow Eishin Flash's training plan. It's the same thing that Gold Ship has. You only get like this one training that you can do. You gotta do that. Or you gotta have two of these lane change skills. So you get one here. So you gotta pick one more lane change skill. So you can get Inazuma Step if you want. And you gotta have two acceleration skills. So there you go. So one acceleration skill will probably be like Non-Stop Girl, and another one would be like she's a betweener. So you can get Well, I guess suppose you can use her as a leader. There's nothing to say that she needs to be a leader. She doesn't need to be a betweener. And then this one here. So Hokori o Kakete is the new improved version, and yeah, this basically increases speed tremendously. So this is a big boost as well. So you gotta win at the Tokyo racetrack 3 times. So that's the Japan Derby, that's the Japan Cup, that's the Yasuda Kinen. Although I don't think she can run the mile. Yeah, she can't run the mile. So you gotta win at the Tokyo racetrack 3 times. Or you gotta have Intelligence 800. I think this is the easy one to do, Intelligence 800. And you gotta have 3 increased speed skills. This will count as 1, so 2 more increased speed skills. So that's pretty easy, right? Mid-distance corner, 1 more, and then do it. Oh yeah, and this is the increased speed skill, so that one's already covered. You just need to find a lane change skill there. Okay, so I think 2 more. Agnes Digital and Oguri Cap. There it is. Agnes Digital. So Agnes Digital did not get a huge boost. Basically, she now gets a boost to stamina here, boost to health, Umamania. I suppose it's good because it's already increasing speed. Basically, you need to win either 2 G1s in the turf, grass, or 2 G1s in the dirt. That's gonna happen. This is gonna happen. And you gotta have 3 speed skills. This will count as 1. Her unique skill will count as 1. So 1 more speed skill, yeah, like these, and that'll happen. Nerawa Saizenetsu was a lane change skill that became also an acceleration skill. And now the acceleration is going to increase a little bit more. Well, actually no, I think it just says the acceleration, so I don't think the acceleration changes that much. But what this means is that it's going to last longer. It's going to last for 4 seconds. So this is actually a nice boost, but it's only going to happen in the dirt, and you don't know when it's going to happen. So this is always a iffy skill, but still a skill that people would have, because it didn't matter which. It didn't matter if you were in first place, second place, third place. It would happen. Alright, so 3 conditions. You gotta have either speed 800 or stamina 600. I think speed 800 is pretty easy. Condition 2, you gotta have either power 800 or intelligence 800. Alright, this is gonna happen. And you gotta have 2 dirt skills, and this counts as 1 dirt skill. So, boom, there you go. This is gonna happen. So Digital got a slight boost. And Oguri Cap, both the Christmas Oguri Cap did not get any boost. Basically, she got a boost to recovery, and it's actually this was pretty easy to get for this one. This one is really hard to get, Kuishimbo. Basically, you either have to get too fat, or you have to get. It's basically the same. You have to get too fat. This when you actually do this event and you pick the eat everything, you get too fat. So you have to get too fat, or you got to you have to have 2 recovery skills. And this, all it does is increases your recovery. So both of these are just going to increase recovery. It doesn't increase any speed whatsoever. So totally useless for Oguri Cap, because she's basically at a place where she has way too much stamina as is, and having more stamina. I mean, she would be like Super Creek. She can run 3600 without a hitch. That's basically what that means. So for regular Oguri Cap, this is the one that everybody can get. It has the summary of the curve, and this increases your recovery. Again, do you need recovery in a mile? So for this, you gotta either win the mile championship in the Yasuda Kinen, or win a short distance race, and you gotta have fan number over 150,000. I think winning this is probably the easier thing to do than to win the short distance race. So you got to win these two, the mile and the Yasuda Kinen. If you win the Yasuda Kinen, by the way, you get her unique title, so you want to win the Yasuda Kinen anyway. And Kuishimbo, is the skill that increases your health, is going to increase tremendously. And you gotta either win the Arima Kinen twice. I think this is the more reasonable one to do, and you gotta actually eat everything in Oguri's special event where you get fatness. You don't want fatness, it's just a bad idea. So you gotta win the Arima Kinen twice, but I guess for a leader, and you're running like a mid-distance or long, getting extra boost to this is actually helpful. So this is a minor boost. For mid-distance and long, you really don't need so many of the curve. This really is a skill for the mile or the short distance. So there you go. Alright, I think I covered all the 3-star characters that you can get from the daily legend races. So that was long. And I'm now done. If there are people who want to know the conditions for specific characters, let me know in comments or whatever, and I'll make another video of that. But that's basically dependent on which characters you have. And I think if you actually go around and look this up, this information should be available. But for those of you who don't want to read, there you go. Alright, take it easy, guys. Alright, and maybe we'll see the go to say, the gold star. Take it easy.